Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Baozi. Today I'm bringing you the ultimate backhand rubber top 10 rankings. From all the rubbers I've used, I've selected 10 that I'm most satisfied with. These 10 rubbers, no matter which you pick, you won't go wrong. They'll all feel good to you. They're all really nice to play with. This review has been requested by followers for about a year now. After I did the forehand rubber rankings, I never got around to the backhand. So before Double 11 this year, I'm putting together this ranking so you can pick up something great during the sale. Alright, backhand rubbers. First up, number 10, DHS Hurricane 37 Soft. This rubber's control and stable grip are excellent. The main thing is it's incredibly steady. Very stable for pushes, very stable on defense. So this rubber suits players with a more conservative backhand style. If you like to push block or just play safe, this one is very good, very stable. But it's not for attacking. Once you try to attack, it's clearly weaker on offense than the other 9. That's why I put it 10th. And honestly, I do want to complain a bit. This Hurricane 37 Soft, it's caught in between. It can't quite reach the top tier. For advanced players, it feels noticeably slow in rallies. In today's game, with fast-paced mid-table exchanges, Hurricane offers almost no advantage. If you look at top players with strong backhands like Fen Jindong, they all use foreign rubbers. In today's high-intensity rallies and counter-attacking play, Hurricane as a backhand rubber is just too slow both in quality and pace. So in rallies, it doesn't put much pressure on your opponent. Overall, if you're a push blocker or play very safely, very conservatively, then yeah, push or block, it's perfectly fine and very stable. Now, number 9, Stiga Platinum DNA. This rubber, at around 200 yuan, it's incredibly good value for money. The punch and control feel fantastic. If you watch Möregårdh's matches, he uses Platinum DNA on his backhand. His punch, control, and defense are outstanding. So this rubber, punching with it feels great. Control, defense, and placement are all superb. And the price is reasonable, around 223 yuan, so the value proposition is very high. For the 200 to 230 yuan range, I'd say it's extremely cost-effective. So if you don't want to spend 300 or 400 yuan on Tibhar or Butterfly, Platinum DNA is definitely worth a try. It's even the backhand rubber of a world vice-champion. Number 8, Victas V greater than 15 extra. This is the rubber used by our man, the one and only Koki Niwa. Absolute legend. Niwa's rubber, its spin, its control, its speed and spin are all incredibly balanced. Whether you're side cutting, brushing, or punching, it's a really solid choice. You could even think of it as a budget alternative to TO5 for sure. But it is still on the pricier side, which is why I've put it at number 8. If it were priced around 200 plus, I think it would be a total hot seller. It lets you flick with good angles. The top sheet isn't as hard as TO5, which means easier ball control. TO5 is faster out of the racket and gives higher quality on flicks. Number 7, Donic Z1 Z2. Donic rubbers are excellent value in my opinion. I've used them since I was a kid. Back then, Donic wasn't just competing with Butterfly, they were right there alongside them. Especially the Platinum Joe I used as a kid, that was Waldner's rubber. Janovi Waldner, I still remember clearly, My dad set me up with one and I was like, wow, what is this? I'd never tried anything like it. This was back in the early 2000s, and I was blown away. I'd never used a rubber that felt this good. So Donic has always held a special place in my heart in my generation. It was a truly eye-opening rubber. So Z1 and Z2 are worth discussing. As backhand rubbers, they offer great support, great speed, and great spin. The grip on spin is very nice. Z1 is a bit harder, Z2 is slightly softer. If you want more offense, more punch, more spin, go for Z1. If you prefer stability and stronger spin performance, choose Z2. Both are very, very good. I think the value is outstanding. They're similar in performance to the ones we rated to 4.8 to 4.5, very close. But Z1 and Z2 are priced lower, so they get my recommendation. The grip on Z2 is really impressive. If you want a backhand rubber with strong grip, a German tensor rubber focused on spin and control, pick the Blue Sponge Z2. If you want a backhand rubber with excellent spin, excellent control, and also excellent speed, a good balance of attack and control, then go with Z1. One more thing, Z1 and Z2 have great durability. The Z1 I used from 3 months to 6 or 7 months, the performance barely dropped. I think it can easily last 8 or 9 months, even close to a year, so that's why I put it at number 7. Okay, number 6, Aruna's Nexxus 48. I have a strong memory of this one. I tested it with Aruna himself. The biggest standout for me is its control and punch, really satisfying. Aruna, why he plays those sharp shots in matches, he just punches it forward and the ball lands exactly where you want it. He often sets up with defense and then unleashes a powerful punch. You see it again. I love this green rubber because of that. You see his backhand punching in the match. Yes. Do you think this rubber has a better punch? It's not that stiff, bouncy kind. There are many rubbers that feel hard and springy. You think the sponge is very elastic. Actually, Nexxus 48 isn't extremely bouncy. It's very stable, great directional precision. And when you put power in, the feel is very linear, very dependable. You can punch it exactly where you want, and it's not slow at all. It's fast. That's what stood out most to me. This rubber excels. I think it's the best in terms of control and punch in this entire ranking. It's the ultimate for those aspects, even though its spin isn't the highest on this list. Those two strengths, control and punch, are exceptional. That's why it's perfect for Aruna's style. On the backhand, push a bit, then loop and bang. That kind of direct play suits it perfectly. Very satisfying. And it comes mainly in green. Black is a bit rarer, I think. It's mostly colored rubbers, green ones. Okay, number 5, we're recommending Tibhar MXP and Tibhar EL-P, these two brothers. Tibhar MXP is the backhand rubber of the 27-time World Tour champion, Samsonov. I talked with Samsonov about his backhand rubber choice. He said MXP, after trying many rubbers, was the one that impressed him most. MXP offers strong stability and control when he's playing steady, good spin when he loops, and good speed when he punches. So MXP is a very balanced rubber, but spin is its main highlight. Great balance and great spin. Now, MXP is widely regarded on many websites and reviews as the go-to budget alternative to TO5. so its feel and performance are really close to Tenergy's. And it sells for just over 200 yuan, so the value is really high. At that price point, I don't think any rubber does better. In that price range, its performance is pretty much unmatched. EL-P is a softer version of MXP in terms of sponge hardness, so its offense is not as explosive as MXP, but its stability and spin are outstanding. You'll find EL-P just grabs the ball as long as your technique is right. That's why I often recommend EL-P over MXP to amateur players, because their backhands are often inconsistent. They need that thin, brushing contact. And for that, EL-P is stronger than MXP. Its stability and spin and grip are superior to MXP. Okay, so I've placed it at number 5. Its overall capability is strong. The price isn't high, a bit over 200, in the 200 to 300 range. Very good value. Now, number 4, we have TO5. Remember the budget alternative we talked about? Alternative to what? A budget alternative to TO5. So number 4 is TO5 itself. TO5 is arguably worldwide the most talked about and best-selling rubber on the market, both overseas and in China. Yeah, if you say you want to choose a backhand rubber, 90% of people, the first thing that comes to mind is Tenergy 05. TO5, it's always this rubber. Even when I play overseas, if you ask Europeans, what's the best rubber? They'll say TO5. Same in China, actually. So this rubber is incredibly popular. Back when T-Mobile used it, it was known as the best spin in the world. So you can imagine, the spin on this rubber is outstanding. In the Tenergy series, I think it's very, very strong. So if you want a backhand rubber with great spin, great offensive power, and good control, TO5 is the one you need. The T-Series also includes T80 and T64. T80 is John Jike's backhand rubber. The T80's characteristic is it has the spin of TO5 and the speed of T64, so it sits right between TO5 and T64. It's the balanced one, but it's also the worst selling in the T-Series. Probably because it's too balanced, lacks a standout feature. Most players prefer something with a clearer identity. T64 is also a popular choice because of its speed. Very fast for punching, and for drives and quick loops, I think it's the best in the T-Series. If you do a lot of quick loops, drives, and punches, T64 is the most satisfying in the T lineup. If you're leaning more towards spin, something stronger, with more attacking bite, TO5 is a great choice. Now, number 3, Tibhar K3. This rubber is currently used by Felix Lebrun on his backhand, and also by Alexis. They're both using hybrid rubbers for their backhands, so why did I rank it above TO5? Because K3 is designed for the modern big ball era. Its sponge offers stronger support. In high-intensity rallies and aggressive exchanges, its sponge support is better than TO5. It was developed specifically for the 40 ball. I paired it with Lingayuan ALC, FCD ALC, and Viscaria on all 3 blades. I felt K3 on the backhand was great for driving, controlling, and spinning. Everything felt spot on, and the support is solid. When your opponent fires a heavy ball at you, you feel like you can easily place it exactly where you want. And when you attack, it's very stable, no jarring vibration. The feedback to your hand is reassuring. You can produce quality shots easily. It's fast. One of my students took my advice, Dignics 09C on forehand, K3 on backhand. And he said, "Coach Baozi, I finally don't have to keep experimenting." He had tried so many backhand rubbers before until he found K3. He said, I found exactly the feeling I was looking for. Finally, no more detours. The speed in two-wing attacks is excellent. It's easy to feel the blade through the sponge, easier to generate power. The sweet spot feels very focused after impact. It's like having laser guidance. You can place the ball exactly where you aim, attack from anywhere you can think of. It gives you a very confident attacking feel. Whether you want to brush for spin or drive through the ball, it performs outstandingly, one of the best hybrid rubbers I've ever used. Okay, number 2. Why second place? Dignics 09C and Dignics 05. These are the most widely used rubbers among professional players worldwide. D09C, D05 D05 is specifically used by the Harimoto siblings, while D09C is used by Timo Bull. They're all using them. The best players in the world are using D09C. The sponge support is very strong, solid, really solid. It has that premium butterfly feel, that refined solidity. It's very stable on the backhand. You get the sense that as long as you execute the motion, you won't miss. Compared to K3, it's a bit less explosive on offense, but its control and stability are better. So why do more pros choose D09C over K3? Because pros value consistency above all. They don't need extra vibration, their backhand is already powerful. So they need a rubber that's stable and offers strong support. For the backhand, then why does Harimoto choose D05? He's playing to his strengths, not covering weaknesses. He wants his backhand to have even higher quality. Because D05 actually delivers more power than D09C, its speed and offensive quality are higher, faster, with a sharper, more downward arc. So when Harimoto uses D05, his punch balls look like, well, like they're hitting the end line. So if you want a backhand rubber that's very offensive, very solid, you could choose D05. But keep in mind, D05 is the hardest to activate in the Dignics series. It's not easy to get through the sponge, it's quite hard, so I don't actually recommend D05 for amateur backhands. I'd much rather recommend D09C. D09C is more accessible, you can feel its speed and control, even with medium to light power, so I believe D09C is the ultimate backhand rubber for amateur players. So D09C and D05, in the Dignics ranking, I prioritize them this way. So for the second place Dignics series in this ranking, this is my order of recommendation. There is no number one rubber on this list. The number one rubber lives in each of your hearts. For everyone watching this show, you already have your own number one in your mind, your own backhand rubber. So, drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to learn from you too. Maybe try out your backhand god rubber.